Poverty is a global problem. However, its severity is different in different regions of the world. In this module, we will discuss comparative poverty ratios in different parts of the world with reference to the World Bank Standard of Poverty that includes all people living under $1 per person per day. As per the World Bank Standard, the poverty ratio or percentage of population living below the poverty line in developing countries has come down from 28% in 1990 to 21% in 2001. The graph here shows the change in the percentage of people living under $1 a day in different regions of the world. As you can see, poverty has declined in most regions of the world like China, East Asia and Pacific, South Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean. However, the decline in poverty has been more rapid in some regions than others. For example, poverty in China and East Asia and Pacific regions has declined more rapidly than in South Asia. The rapid decline in poverty in China, East Asia and Pacific is associated with rapid economic growth and huge investments in human resource development in these regions. This economic growth was not matched by South Asian countries, and therefore, the decline in poverty has not been so rapid there. The situation is very different in sub-Saharan Africa, where the poverty ratio has actually risen from 41% in 1981 to 46% in 2001. Poverty has reappeared in some former socialist countries like Russia, where officially there was no poverty before. This graph shows the actual number of people in millions living under $1 per day in different regions of the world. The number of people living in poverty in China came down from 606 million in 1981 to 212 million in 2001. In comparison, the decrease in the number of people living in poverty in South Asia was marginal, from 475 million in 1981 to 428 million in 2001. Here is another graph showing the comparison of poverty ratios of a few countries based on the World Bank Standard of Poverty. Note that the poverty ratio for India as per the World Bank Standard appears higher than our national estimate of 26%, which is based on the Indian government's definition of the poverty line. Global leaders expressed their commitment to reduce poverty in the United Nations Millennium Summit held in September 2002. Leaders from 189 countries signed a declaration pledging to reduce the number of people living below $1 a day to half of its 1990 figure by 2015.